another video for you. Today I will be going through a bunch of different gender terms and different genders and basically explain to you guys what they each are. So I have in this notebook, I made a list of all the ones that I found, and I may not have had everything in the list, but I tried to include as many as I could. So first of all, there is agender. Agender is when someone doesn't have a gender, when someone defines themselves as genderless, I guess. Alia or apora gender. I do not know if I'm pronouncing this right. I'm maybe totally messing it up. Alia or apora gender is when you define your gender as other or apart, like from an existing gender. I don't really understand this one, so I guess you guys could comment down below if you know what it is. I looked it up and it defines it as other or apart from existing genders. Androgen is identifying as androgynous gender-wise. The next one we have is bigender, is when someone defines their gender as having two genders. Either they're both at the same time or they move between the two genders. Cisgender is when you're sex assigned at birth. It matches your gender. Demigender is identifying mostly with a gender, but not completely. Like demi-boy and demi-girl both fall under the demigender. Someone who's demi-boy, for example, identifies as male, but not completely. Gender fluid is when someone moves between multiple different genders. Gender flux is having a gender that varies in degree or intensity over time. Gray gender is ambivalent in their gender identity and gender expression, but they identify with at least one gender outside the gender binary. Also, the term binary genders refers to male and female. Non-binary refers to anything that falls in between or anywhere around it on the gender spectrum. Intergender is a term used to describe being right in the middle of male and female, and this term is usually used by intersex people, or biologically somewhere between male and female. Okay, so this next one, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think it's neutois. It's very similar to agender. It's someone who doesn't identify with a gender, but usually someone who identifies as neutois has a transition, has made some sort of transition. Someone who is pangender identifies with a variety of different genders and sometimes experiences genders which they can't really describe or is outside genders that are known. Polygender is identifying with multiple genders either at once or switching between them, and you can see a lot of these different genders kind of overlap each other and they seem very similar to each other, so of course you should just identify with whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable identifying as, and also you don't really have to identify as anything. That's completely and totally your choice. Genderqueer is an umbrella term to describe someone who identifies with genders outside the gender binary. So someone who's genderqueer can identify with any non-binary gender. So situational gender fluid is someone who's gender fluid, but their gender changes depending on their environment. Okay, transgender is someone who identifies with the opposite gender as their sex assigned at birth. And the last term that I have here is trigender, which is someone who switches between male, female, and a third gender. So that's all the terms I have today. If I missed any, if I missed yours or any other ones, comment them down below. Maybe I'll do another video. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe.